For Divas Only is brought to you by For Divas Only by Rentie, featuring designer and celebrity sunglasses at affordable prices. Thank you, my loves, for tuning in once again to For Divas Only. Yes, we've been on a hiatus and we are back. So much has happened into the world. We had to deal with the COVID-19, which I had a little taste of, but because I've had my vaccination, it was just a piece of cake. So, darlings, if you haven't had your vaccination, I just want to share. You probably want to get that too. So, if you do get it, you can continue life more abundantly. So today, I want to introduce to you, and many already know, my special guest, who is my best friend, my BFF, celebrity designer, Angela Dean of Dean Design. She is also Angela Dean of Shaped by an Angel. And we're going to talk about those two things. Now, she's just not any celebrity designer. She has clothes and wardrobe and some of the greatest of all times, from Patti LaBelle to Nancy Wilson to even Oprah Winfrey. Oh, I mean to tell you, to some Halle Berry. I could go on, Madonna. I could go on and on. It's been a pleasure having her as a friend. It's always a pleasure having the designer as a friend because, darling, I tell you, back in our young days when we had the modeling figure, I had the garments of life to wear. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start talking about design and Shaped by an Angel. We're going to start off on a business level, but I can assure you, before the end of this thing, before it's all over, we're going to take the conversation someplace else because that's just how we do. Because it's not about us, it's about you and it's about serving you. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is my BFF and best friend, Angela Dean of Design and the Shaped by an Angel. My friend, my BFF, Ms. Angela Dean. Thank you, Angela, for joining us and being a part of For Divas Only.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Oh, it's so many directions I want to take us. We just want to have some girl talk, but I want the people who are not familiar with you as Design to understand that process. And then you moved into Shaped by an Angel, and now you have incorporated all of that with transitions for women. We're going into transformation for women, and how in this time that we're living in, that it is time for us to transform ourselves as well on the outside, but basically on the inside, because a paradigm shift has occurred and we have to be ready spiritually and physically. And that's what's happened. So let's talk about Design. Let's talk about when we first met, how you and I met. And that was what, 40 years ago? What?
It's called you.
Okay.
When it's too long, you just got to go in a blur.
Okay, so you're going to blur.
What, 40 years? 50 years?
About that, yeah. When we were just kids in the fashion world. You had just graduated from the Fashion Institute, and we were doing these fashion shows.
Girl.
And I was stopping by your house to try to get something to wear to the next party.
See, I was dressing all y'all, all my friends. I even thought about my outfit, Lord Jesus. Oh, and I was always running around throwing my outfit together, and all y'all was standing at the door ready, talking about what's taking me so long.
I remember one time I came by to get you, Tiffany answered the door. She must have been a teenager at that time. She answered the door, she pulled the door open, and she just looked at me. Then she yelled upstairs and said, "Mama, why you and Cheryl always looking like you going to the prom?"
Girl, that was her famous line, honey. That's why they didn't understand when I tried to transfer into the hip hop world. Came out in the 90s, and I had to take that flowy skirt off and them pumps that we used to walk around in. Remember?
Yeah.
Walk around in pumps for 8 to 12 hours a day with no. And they didn't think I was able to make that transition. Baby, I threw them pumps and got them tennis shoes and them baseball hats and went straight into the next look.
The next thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really has been a journey, a very successful journey as a celebrity fashion designer with magazine covers, actually wardrobing, some of the most famous people in the world today, and then you came up with this whole new thing to incorporate with design, Shaped by an Angel.
Yes, my little baby that I'm working with now, for sure. It's been a wonderful ride with creating products and expanding, outside of my custom work.
Yes, yes. The Shaped by an Angel whole new thing, the shaper that was made with a surgical fabric, that women can wear all day up under those beautiful garments that you created. So it's real creators and real entrepreneurs, they are always creating and adding on, and that's what I've seen and watched with you over the years, and it's really been a joy, and even it's just been a joy. It's been a joy to watch you do that. It's been a joy to watch you do that. Yes. So talk about something. Talk about design Shaped by an Angel, and then of course we're going to get into that whole new lifestyle. I want to talk about the 30-day lifestyle change, the transition with Angela Dean and Dean Zine with Shaped by an Angel. So take away, my love.
Well, as you know, it's been a long journey with so much work. One of the things that was very much a highlight of my career was doing the Madonna bullet bra and getting a lot of experience from working with the under the garments, meaning under the dresses, meaning the foundation work, the corsets and the things that really shape you under your clothes. And from working as a head designer for that store, which we specialized in lingerie that basically was featured on television and movies mostly. And then you could come into the store and customize things for, your various needs. But that particular experience really gave me the understanding of the anatomy, because a lot of the work was customized. So from there, I left that store and actually I had opened my own store prior to working there on Melrose, which was when Dean Zine started. And I worked there for about 5 years and then decided to go further into the music and entertainment business, servicing them directly. And that was really, really amazing for me because, as you know, after I got out of FITM, I was very upset because the jobs that I was sent on, I was supposed to copy T-shirts, like they call it knocking off.
Yeah.
And so you take something that's already been purchased and you copy it, and then you remake it and make a twist for yourself. I didn't understand that type of thing because as you know, I was sewing all through junior high school and high school, probably made some of your outfits. Not before the business part of you dressing when we was going out. But I made Deanie's prom dress that looked like Cher, all that. I was able to do all that. So by the time I got to going out and actually leaving school and got the jobs, they were like beneath me. Like, what are we doing here? I'm copying something. I can't do this. Like, I came to slay the world with fashion. So I left there and left the industry and went on and opened a store on Melrose in the 80s and continued on to the music and entertainment business, servicing some of the most amazing clients in the world, as some of you will discover when you look into the story. I've worked with Patti LaBelle, Shaka Khan, Oprah Winfrey, Mary J. Blige, which we just honored her birthday recently, Puffy Combs, oh my God, Case, Montel Jordan, the Essence cover, highest selling Essence cover in the history of Essence magazine. Oh my God, it's hard for me to do the accolades, but I'm trying. Nancy Wilson, I was honored with her donating a dress to the Smithsonian Museum. So I have some of my work in the museum at the Smithsonian. So all of these things have been incredibly like an amazing ride for me. But as I have come further into my career, I really wanted to do something that really helped women in a way that didn't necessarily have to come through clothes, but a different, unique way. So I went back to the skills of the foundation and corsets and created Shapers, a shapewear line that you address called Shaped by an Angel. And it has been a passion of mine right now because what I'm doing is I'm transforming women through the foundation of the Shapers. And my Shapers are made, as you stated, from a compression fabric that is used for post-surgical, for lap band surgery, plastic surgery. And so the fabric is patented and it is phenomenal. So the snatch that it's able to create is on another level. And I actually did these patterns, the styles and everything myself. So it works. Because when originally I started this idea, the reason I started it because you couldn't find a shaper that really worked for you. I don't know if you've ever had that problem in the marketplace where you couldn't find something that fit perfectly for you, you know, in your body type. Because they show shapers, but they show perfect women in them, right? With perfect bodies. And you think, oh, that she looks amazing, but my body doesn't look like that. So when I put it on, what is it going to do? And a lot of shapers compress you right up under your breast and then take all that flesh and compress it down below your belly button. And now you've got this muffin that we call below the belly button pushing out and making you look round and wrong, right?
Right.
Another problem was when it caved into the knee, you know, and you would be able to wear a tight dress and now you looking and it looks like you have a shaper. Who wants to look like they have a shaper on? So a lot of those tricks I solved, and now they call me the Snatch Queen because now I can take any body type. We do shapers from small to 5X. So it doesn't matter if you weigh 100 pounds to 500 pounds, I can reshape your body.
Amen. Amen. And I'm witness to that with my shaper, you know, being able to wear it and feel like, oh my God, I'm fabulous right now.
Yeah.
You know, everything is smooth. You want everything smooth and the lines. And it's just so awesome. And, you know, that's been an incredible journey. You know, I watch you toil with that and like almost like a scientist, and like this part doesn't work, you throw that out, and then you would come back and you would do another one until you got it absolutely right for the body. You talk about those bustiers you used to make. I remember when you did the one for Madonna, and you were doing so many of those during that time. And I was going to Las Vegas. For those of you who don't know, I toured with the a kickboxing team or something, and we were ring girls, and I had all the ring girls, and I needed to be fabulous, and I stopped by and got one of them bustiers with the skirt and jacket to match.
You sure did.
You couldn't stop me. They were taking pictures of me as opposed to the ring girls. It was
funny.
It was great. That's just one of many outfits that I have worn when I had that body during that time when we modeled. Those days are gone right now, but still, we are still transforming, and we still keeping it tight, and we still keeping it together the best way that we can.
Yes, because it's very important, you know, even though there's so many tricks and things that are out on the market that they market to us as women. And if any of you as women think about all the things that you fell for that were quick fixes, nothing is a quick fix. It takes time and consistency to master anything. And one thing I think that I have done is I've worked on myself over the years, as you know, as being a friend, some of the crazy things that I've done. But I was determined to figure out how to shape or reshape my body and to keep and maintain myself with a certain particular body type, and shape and weight.
Mm-hmm.
I've been challenged over the years with, going up and down. We all have, right?
Yes.
But certain things that I tried with working with Shape by an Angel, and you said the perfect thing, feeling like a scientist. And I think that's an extension, of my madness with the clothes. So
It is.
trying to figure out what is it that keeps us shapely? What is it that keeps us non-inflamed? Because you and I have had these conversations on the phone. Inflammation is a beast. I mean, it's its own, like, you know what? Like, you could just take it and just like be like, why am I bloated again? Or why am I bloated today when I need to wear this outfit, but yesterday I was feeling fine? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's learning how to eat. It's learning to stay detoxified. And detoxification is something you work on, right? Because you have to find out where you become inflamed and how you become inflamed, which causes the body to change in what it looks like, right?
Absolutely.
So you test things out. So one thing we did was created a great formula of a tea called our Shape Detox Tea. And that is amazing because it's all natural. It does not have the sienna leaves, as many of the ladies understand about when you can do a detox regimen and it can like have you literally on the toilet in pain and sweating. I don't know if you've ever experienced that.
Yes.
There's different products that you can take that you think you're just taking to lose a weight or, come down, detoxify or something. And baby, you're on the, moaning and sweating and doing all this. And that is not called for and not necessary. And what they don't tell you is that should be a certain length of time. You should not detoxify to that extent continually, right? So our detox tea is all natural, tastes amazing. You drink 1 cup a day and you get the results of the body releasing and detoxifying. But it's a natural process. It's simple. It's 1 cup a day. It tastes amazing. So you're not having to suffer, and you can keep that regimen up consistently. So if we've done this before, gone out to eat and felt like, oh my God, I feel stuffed and horrible, drink a little detox tea, get yourself back together and keep it moving, But these are the things we need to understand. So I've created products and, oils and things for your face, for your body that do have, some of them have CBD in it, which, as you know, the beauty and the great results of CBD. And so I've just been having a ball.
So let's move into this whole new lifestyle thing. We were talking earlier this week, about this whole transformation that a lot of individuals, as you just said earlier, they just don't really have a clue of what's transpiring in the world. We have plagues, or shall I say, pandemics. We need to keep our immune system in a very good place. We need to change how we eat. The inflammation in our body is where the disease comes from, and disease. So we want to remove all of that out of our body. And the Bible says that our body is a temple. So it is up to us to work on that temple the best that we can. And I'm reading about your tea here, which I'm drinking right now, that it's 100% organic. It removes the toxin. It fills up a weight loss. It helps with weight loss. It's an energy booster, immunity booster, and it does taste great. I want to remind you to try to stay away from sugar in it. I use agave or you use honey. Try to stay away from sugar. But this is a whole new thing. We can spend thousands of dollars for outfits, but what if we don't feel good inside? You know, everybody wants to feel good inside. It really makes a difference.
Yes. And one of my mottos are, and I know it's a little reverse to the normal concept of us feeling good inside, but I switched it up a teach. And I said that if you look good, you feel good. So let's go back to the concept of the shapers, right? And then implement what you're saying. So the shapers, when you put on the shapers, you have an instant gratification of change and transformation. Like it's instant because the garment works and you just transform. It takes all your little stuff and puts it in the right place, and voila, you feel amazing, right? So that's the first step, right? But then the next step is all the other things that require you to, like you say, eating properly, keeping our immune system, keeping flush, keeping uninflamed, right? And then some of the products that you know that I have that continue to do that on the skin, so that's internally and outwardly, right?
Yeah.
But when we get to that place, now our mind can start kind of receiving some of the things that have to do with our inside here things. When you say inside and out, right?
Yeah,
inside,
absolutely.
yes, I know means our health, our body, those things. But now we're going into here, which you and I have been trained to understand, that we got to go internally to make those changes. But my way to captivate you in that is to give you something that works instantly, and then we start moving you towards that internal process, whether it be with the food or whether it be with your mind, your spirit, your body, which is what you facilitate, you know, the spirit and the essence of who you are. So those things start connecting. Now we've got some transformation going on, correct?
Correct. So let's talk about those new products that are transforming the face when we age, the body. We want to shape that. As you know, even though black don't crack, it might sag a little. So
sag what?
It might sag just a little bit, all right? So let's talk about that. That's sculpting. You and I want you to start, and then I'm gonna take over because.
Yeah. Okay. So there is a serum that we created, along with the company, of course, that created the formula and all of the jizz that's inside of it. But one of the base parts of the formula is CBD. And I don't know if you pull up, because I'm trying not to start reading something, but CBD has, some really amazing topical results that really help to heal the skin and repair its damages. It can restore collagen, take away inflammation. And part of that inflammation has to do with, now we're talking about on your face. When we get more mature ladies, many of you know this, we start getting a little chin going around in here. There's some little things happening in here, right? And I also had some challenges with a little line that started being established. Now, you should be very careful on how you're sleeping, because I noticed that when you're sleeping and you sleep on the pillow and you press your face, right? You're creating different things on the face that you would normally have to deal with if you weren't doing that nightly. Does that make sense? So, because muscles have memory, we have the ability to change the shape of our face through exercises. And I will be doing this on the website and on Instagram to show us the facial exercises that can be done. I'm just going to show you one real quick. But what happens is you put the serum on your face, right? Which I should have right here.
I was thinking the same thing. I should have mine.
You have yours?
Yeah, I'll go get it. Okay.
You can throw it. But anyway, when she goes and gets it, it's a small bottle, but I put a roller on the end of the bottle, as you know, the little bottle, and you roll it on the serum. Many serums you pump on, or either you drip down your face. But I felt like that was a waste of the product, right? Because the product is intense and it's kind of pricey, but even reasonably priced, it's still a small amount. So you want it to maximize, get as much use out of it as possible. So with the roller, it helps to really get it onto the skin, and then you can rub it in. You get what I mean? Instead of dripping it and then trying to rub it throughout your face. So you can put it all in your neck and all this. When you get the serum on at night, you can put it on a little heavier and really, really rub it in. But you take your hand and you fold your pointing finger. And this is just something I'm showing you that you can do with your own hand. And then you make an egg like this, right? Mm-hmm. And you take and you hold one part of your face, and then you just continue to do this on the edge of your jaw. And you keep doing that like 20 times on this side, holding 20 times on this side. Then when you want to accentuate your cheekbones, you see this here? You just do this. Go up. Everything is up. Start pushing your skin up. What happens when we get older is the skin starts falling, right? The face starts falling. That's why we're getting these lines, or the chin starts showing more here, chin, because the face is the skin is falling, it's losing its elasticity. What's happening with my product is it's restoring the collagen and the elasticity, but we're helping it through the manipulation of, and I'm gonna have a stone soon. So that stone is shaped like your face, kind of like a heart. You've seen them? And it will assist with that process. But right now you can do it, I just do it with my hand at night. And it is definitely, you see the cheekbones? Like I did that.
Yeah.
Like I did that. You know my face is round. Am I lying?
No.
For all our high school, everything. My face is rounder, way rounder. I've done this to it. Mm-hmm. So I'm just sharing with you, these are my tricks that I've done, but it works. And then also the neck. The lines from the neck come from, a lot of times I just found out it's from this, looking at the phone. Down at the computer. Mm-hmm. Creating these lines. Try to hold yourself up. Try to keep that as something, or in when you're doing with the oil, try to keep pushing this up and working the neck. It does, my neck has changed. My neck used to be horrible. I have women that have had more problems with their neck area. You know how you can get aging, and my serum has definitely repaired it. So these are things, ladies, that we have to do consistently. You know this, Cheryl, as we talk on the phone all the time. Mm-hmm. It's one thing to, how can I say this? It takes work to keep yourself together. And a lot of us are so busy, so overwhelmed with so many things, we don't have time to think about ourselves at all. We have children, grandchildren, husbands, sons, jobs, careers, all these things. But we always are putting the attention and the focus on everybody outside of ourselves, especially Black women. You know that how we are. We're going to give ourselves all away most of the time, and then look back and say, what happened to me? Right. Well, what happened to you is you gave yourself away. A wise woman told me this one time. She said, baby, you got to work not with your glass half full. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get that girl filled up. So meaning, don't operate and deal with things with it half full. Try to get that thing filled up. But when you fill it up with you, with your energy, your jidge, what you need for yourself, because we can't take care of anyone until we take care of ourselves. And that is what my whole mission with Shaped by an Angel is about self-love And that's what you were talking about with this journal, that in this journey that we're taking in the month of January and continuing on for the next 12 months is self-love.
Absolutely.
We are in trouble, not ourselves, because we've been taught to love ourselves to some extent, and we know we go off the beaten path. But our children are in trouble. Yes. Our beautiful, beautiful children are in trouble that look amazing, have fabulous. It's not the ones that are poor and don't have nothing. It's the ones that have everything that look amazing and, you know, just perfect doll children that are depressed and not connected to really who they are. You know, so we've got work to do, not only with ourselves, but with the generation behind us. And I think it's very important that we be examples as mature women to keep showing up and showing out and being our best. Because if we don't do and show them that they can be their best at the age we are, what are they looking forward to? Right? And they can't continue looking forward to all these images that they see on Instagram and social media and believe that's real life. That is not real life. Most of those young ladies, you know, they turn those cameras off and are real and trying to figure out what is real and what's not real, because they're constantly living in a fantasy.
Amen. Amen. You know, you have this whole self-love journey in 30 days that people can get on your website. I think it's very important. I was telling you, I used the serum only a couple times, and I was telling her that I was amazed at just using it once, the difference that I saw immediately. And we were talking about how people, there's so much stuff on the market that does not work, that when something finally does work, it's very hard to comprehend that this really does work. And I was really impressed. And I'm not saying this just because I know her. This is a reality. I did the same thing with Hollywood hair bars. Does it really work? I just, you know, I got it because I knew the owner. That stuff works. So this is one product that really works. It's the serum, it's the body sculpting and everything. I'm just excited about the whole thing. And we're going to be right back in just a moment. You are listening to For Divas Only with our guest, Angela Dean of Design and Shaped by an Angel. I am encouraging you to go to the website of shapedbyangel.com and join the Shape Club so we can be on this journey together in the year 2022 of being everything that we can be, because we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with our Girl Talk with Angela Dean. We just want to continue with the face serum. And I was telling you how it works. When I put it on and did the whole thing, you know, uplifting. And I also want you to know that I'm in my 60s. I'm on the last part of 60s. I'm actually 67, you know, so, you know, we're struggling to keep it all together. So we need everything that we can get. And it is working. I could see the difference in the skin texture. That's what really, really got me. I could just see the difference in the skin texture. And because your muscles do have memory, it stayed nice, you know. It is something that you want to keep doing on a daily basis.
Yes.
You know, this is the serum, you know. So it's small. It's small, and like she said, a little bit pricey, but not that pricey. It is affordable, and it's worth it. And then what really got me, she's going to get into this, was the body. You can do the same thing with your body, and that is just amazing to me. And then there's the mask. Now you can, this is body mask. I actually use this on my face because I'm shaping my face.
Yeah.
I shape my face first, you know.
And take it from here, Cheryl, and go all the way to this The neck.
To my neck. Yes, yes.
Do that.
Yes, yes. So we are transforming ourselves, not because we're vain, but just because we should be. I remember my grandmother being my age. When I met her, she was 67 years old.
Yeah.
Today, if her 67 was equivalent to 97 back then. It's just, how they were just old. I'm like, we just were old. And, Bishop Jakes was telling us the other day in a meeting, just because you have gray hair, just because you're aging, don't stop. You're not old. Continue on. Continue to live your dreams. Continue to create. Start businesses. Just do things. Work on yourself. Transform yourself. Because we're in a time where we have to transform. We from just this thing Zoom. We didn't know nothing about Zoom 2 years ago. Just how we communicate. We need to upgrade our technology. We have to transform. There's a transformation that has to be done based upon the day that we are living.
Yeah.
And that is physical and spiritual as well.
Yes.
Angela, you want to talk about it?
Well, I agree with everything you're saying, because as you know, we've been on our own life journey together.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've done and learned everything under the sun. We became experts in everything. But baby, we still every day learning and knowing we have to continue growing. Because at our 60s, in our 60s, why? Because if we ever think we got it all wrapped up, that's the biggest mistake I think that we can have. And that's where you start aging and you start not being relevant and current, because you think that you arrived and it's all done and the bow has been wrapped and the package is, sealed. But my package will never be sealed. I want to be like the woman I showed you before we got on the call, Miss Iris Arpel, that is 100 years old, still collaborating with brands, honey. Wearing her outfits. 100 years old, Cheryl. Now, I just want to talk about that for 30 seconds, meaning this woman is a fashion icon for many of you that may not even know who we're talking about. It doesn't really matter, but her name is Iris Arpel. You can look her up. She was recently on the cover of the British Vogue. She's a fashion icon. And this woman is 100 years old and still relevant and still popping. How is that? That is through you being, I think, uniquely yourself.
Absolutely.
And living life to the fullest and being eager to wake up every day, not afraid to learn something new, even at 100 years old, because the world is changing. Nothing is the same from when she was 20 or 40 or 30, right? She's 100 freaking years old. So what makes you stay relevant and popping at 100, girl? That woman, I give her all the points. I don't care what nobody says. I'm a follower and look and read more about her. She lost her husband. They were a great couple, but she lost her husband maybe about 15, 20 years ago. Now I'm done with the conversation. Oh. So you lose your man 20 years ago and you still popping after 80, go to 100 and still popping? Okay.
Her name is, I can't say it. Iris.
Yeah.
The last name is Apfel. Yes. Okay. I know we've seen her. Everybody's seen her with the big glasses on, when she talks. This is one with the red lipstick. I think weren't we walking down Rodeo Drive one day and didn't we see her? Was that you and me?
She's a New Yorker, but she is like a fashion maven.
Yeah.
Beauty, what I'm saying more than anything about her being anything is the fact that she can freaking live to 100 years old after her husband died. Okay, because many women, a lot of times your mate dies, it's like hard, right?
Yeah.
And still be inspired enough to live and keep living. I think that is amazing.
It is amazing.
It's like everything to me. because that inspires me. I feel like that about my auntie. You just keep living and you keep doing and you keep inspiring and being inspired, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I think there's something I always post every now and then. It says, I don't want people to see me as an old woman. I want them to wonder, what is that woman doing now? You know, what is she up to now? You know, as an older woman, you know, always creating, always just doing something different,
Yeah.
reinventing ourselves. That's the word. You know, I was talking to Angela Brown, and we we're talking about reinventing ourselves.
Yeah.
How we have to do that, you know, otherwise we hear our friends talk about, I can't use the Apple phone, I don't know how to use Zoom, I can't do this. And it's just like, maybe you need to learn, because this is where we are right now.
Yes, that's that's why I feel like it's very important for us to really see how the world is operating today and stand for something and not fall for anything. Meaning, our mothers and families represent it, and that's why we're the women we are today. Correct?
This is true.
They have social media, right?
Yes.
So they sewed into us individually where we were, where you could get that wisdom and that word, you caught it and you kept going. You know how it worked. We kept in our little cars and went on back to LA. But they gave us that foundation and that love and that wisdom, correct?
Yeah.
But we are a little different with these days and times where we don't really have access to them like that, right? Yeah. So we have more access now online, but we're not showing up, I don't think, in the way that we can, like even right where we are right now. You're going to put the show up and you're going to do all this, and it's to your audience that you market to and all that. But when would we ever do this just hopping on Facebook? We need to, because social media has gotten us so believing that we got to do this or we got to do it this way or they won't like it. We need to get on as strong Black women and represent and talk about the things that our mothers gave us, as we can pass down to them and reach a lot more young girls. So I encourage us to do that.
Okay. Well, we shall start doing that more often. Just get on and do it. Because you're absolutely right. I have nieces, I have nieces and nephews. I have some of the most beautiful nieces ever, and you too, and the most beautiful daughters as well, So they it's a strange time for them right now. It's a very unsettling time for them. They don't know where the world is going to, and a lot of them are worried. And it is true, all hell could break loose in a moment. But this is me. I'm glad I belong to the kingdom of God and not the kingdom of this world. So that really makes the difference in how we maneuver through it. And a lot of that has been lost in them.
Well, that's what I would like to add to that. And what you're saying is so true. Lost. Because you have that, right? I have that.
Yes.
If our friends have that, they don't have that.
They don't have that.
They have the computer.
Right. And there is no spiritual foundation. Yes.
They're not hearing us. We're not showing up. You understand what I mean? We're showing up in the way we do, but we're not showing up for them. And I think that this little moment with us together, I think is very important, that we do this more often and invite young women to hear our stories and our struggles and our successes and our, our loves and our desires and our pain and all the things that we've had to bear. And when I talk to the young kids today, I tell my daughter, well, 2 million of us had to go through hell on a Passover, to get here from where we were brought. And what is it that you guys are dealing with that you feel are so bad? I'm not trying to take away from it, Cheryl, but I just want to know, but do you understand that struggle?
Right.
Do you even conceive what that was to even know where you came from. So if the kids are not being taught and all they're doing is being given to, right? Here's your new Nike shoes. Here's your new cell phone. That costs $1,000. Here's your new this and your new that. And you ain't got your tail up and did nothing today.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Something wrong with that, girl?
Yeah.
So we got things to say and talk about and do and give and sow into, I think, as we continue to do our work.
I think my entire motto is that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Yes. You know, I mean, that's Bible. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. And so many don't know that. You know, they go through these things. The suicide rate is up, you know, it's painfully up, you know, all across the racial divide. It's everywhere. It's not just Black, it's not just white. It's all the children, you know, not being able to deal with what we would think was not something, but how the world is happening right now, it makes it a big thing for them. You know, peer pressure was never an issue for me or you. You know, we just did what, always walk to the beat of my own drum.
Yes.
You know.
Y'all have.
Yes. Always.
And when you tipped out of Long Beach, right? You didn't think the world was yours. It wasn't like you were concerned. If anything, you were just concerned about how much you was gonna tear it up. You understand? Tear that girl up. You weren't afraid.
I know.
Living and going and living life and going to seek what your mama and all the people told you was out there, you know?
Absolutely.
But I know that also, to say this, we come from a different space and place too. And we don't have to go into this, but Long Beach was a different type of raising. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't even know if anybody on this watching this would even understand how we really were raised. You know, it was like a community on another level that just kept going generation after generation after generation. And I don't know, it's like a Peyton place. It's like a place stuck in time or something.
It was, so people don't know we are from the, what is it, the LGB. We are from the LGB. You know, I used to babysit Snoop Dogg, so you know,
they don't understand.
He is my cousin. You know,
they understand.
You know, so it was, but it was such a community. It was such a diverse community. We all went to school with, you know, this is why I know we're getting off the subject, but it's still all about transformation and people needing to understand certain things. But, you know, we were raised with Hispanics. At that time, we just call them Spanish people, Hispanics, Samoans, Koreans, you know, and us, and we were all one. It wasn't like a great division. We just, you know, Black girls married, you know, Gonzalez's and Toyas and, you know, vice versa. And it was just a community. And we had the 3 high schools, I think, maybe 3. We all still partied together. It was just a community. And these children don't have that. They don't have that type of community where we had growing up.
And I really believe, as I go back and sometimes I look and think about it all, it does have to do all with community. All of it.
Community.
Now, something I had to navigate through in my mind, though, is how our communities are spread out, right? You know, because we're not down the street from each other no more like we were raised, right?
Yeah.
So your cousin 2 blocks away and, you know, stay there for the night and come back home in the morning. But you don't have that with children no more. What we have even greater is this technology.
Yes.
We do have a community. That's why I started Black Design Collective. It's like, let's come together, right? Let's try to find a middle ground where we can come collectively together and be more empowered, have more power collectively than we have individually. So I think that we just have to navigate our new community, right?
Our new community. That's a part of that transformation, that redefining ourselves and navigating those communities. You're absolutely correct.
further, our reach is now further. You know, we were
Yeah.
in a city, right? A part of the
Yeah.
city, a couple of parts of the city where we
Right.
all merged and collectively grew up and all these things and went to church and everybody knew each other. But now this community is gone from, let's say, America to a global community, right?
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
I think the more we really realize that that's what we have, maybe we can start navigating more, because we do so much. We're trying to make money through
Yeah.
this platform of social media and you know, whatever we're doing, especially now, right? Everything's online.
Mhm.
But we
Mhm.
find that sacred place that we still can meet in private, like we go to church, right? And
Yeah. Yeah.
love on each other, share our intimate things, but still don't have to have it where it's all in the public realm. It's still a
Mhm.
community.
Still a community.
We need to work on that.
Yeah, we actually do. I appreciate that. And we will. We
Yeah.
will. I get to hang out with you more.
Yeah.
Just,
Do some good stuff online.
it's some good stuff. And that's what For Divas Only is all about. That's what you're all about. Just being there for individuals, you know, encouragement and just sharing, you know, our experiences that we've had. When I came here to Dallas, um, I began immediately to find community, and that was just so awesome. I first went to Houston where I couldn't find any community. That's because God was moving me.
Yeah.
And that's another thing in this whole thing about transformation and redefining yourself. Listen to see what God is doing, because God really does have a plan in all of our lives, you know, and we have our own plans, but God may have different plans. And sometimes they get a little out of whack. And when things appear to be out of whack, that just means you just need to shift your path right now, because God is doing something wonderful in your life, because that's just how good God is.
Well, you know, I really agree with what you're saying, because it also brings me back to myself. And you know that I've been sewing since I was knee high to a totem pole, right? On the floor in my mother's house. But I've gotten to a place in my life right now that I see and am giving myself permission to do more, to go beyond the realms of what I'm known for. Or, you know, like, oh, Angela just, not saying just designs clothes, but she designs clothes. So that's my category, right? But
Right,
you
right.
remember when, like, the rappers became actresses, and then the actresses
Mhm.
became singers, and then, you know, just became like, what? Then the actresses start becoming producers and directors, right? Right?
Right, right.
I think that it's really time for all of us to be freed up, to know we don't have to do one thing. Nobody said that we only had to go and do this one thing. Nobody said that, right?
And that's so awesome. You said that.
Gee,
Because we were taught when we come up, what are you going to do? What are you going to be when you grow up? You're going to do this one thing, you know? And then, you know, and then you tell them that one great thing you want to do. They tell you what, baby, you just go work at the post office. But you know, just do that one great thing, you know. You're doing too much. They used to tell me you're doing too much. You're doing too much.
You know, they
You
love
know,
that.
love, you know, you need to focus on one thing. Well, no, I'm all of those things,
All of
you know, and to finally just move. Remember we were talking about, we had that 10-year hiatus.
Yeah.
That's what was happening with us.
Yeah.
We were moving into the greater self. You know, there's other things that God was preparing us to do, you know. So yeah, I
Now,
do
the
two
only
things.
thing is what comes into play when you say what you just said. I think about the young people today, and they're the reverse. They're doing everything, and then some.
But we're telling them to do everything because our parents told us.
But guess what? This is where a lot of the problems are lying. And I'm not saying you should be able to be free to do multiple things, right?
Right, right.
But you know, as we know, master something first.
Master something first.
Okay. But the other part of that is when you overwhelm yourself.
Yeah.
With doing too many things. And you didn't say what Cheryl said or Mama and them said initially was figure out one thing you're gonna do. Because guess what happens? you get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So you haven't mastered nothing, but you
And
do
it's
a whole lot of stuff.
it's also not understanding what success is.
No.
You know,
They don't have that understanding at all.
Well, see, they measure success by other individuals.
Yes, of course.
You know, so success may not be what it is for someone else. Success for you might be different in this realm, you know. So that's something that I learned about success.
This is the problem they're having with that, what you're saying though.
Yes.
Because social media is
yes.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yes.
So let's just say it's me and you. So I see you starting to do this, right? So now I was doing this over here. But what you doing that and you look pretty successful, I'm gonna go try that too. So I'm now doing what I was doing. I'm now doing what you're doing and thinking about what I'm gonna do that somebody else is doing. And then juggle them all, maybe no. You get what I'm saying? So
I do. Because people don't realize, people don't realize what God has for you is for you. What God has for them is for them. And, you know, and they're not tapped into the God energy. So they're moving in the wrong directions. Monkey see, monkey do. Sally's doing this. I'm gonna start doing this too.
But you have a good point when you said they're not tapped into God energy. And I think that this is really a huge problem. And you know what their energy is? I'm really thinking about this as you're saying this. This is a good thing that we're doing. And it's almost like we're talking on the phone, but we're really on camera. But you know, I really think that they have a problem with kind of perceiving like where their focus should be, because their focus becomes looking at someone else to duplicate that, I think, because they want to all be successful. That's another falsity that's been marketed to them. Success, 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 success. Well, success takes a route. It's a route to become successful. And I call it a microwavable generation, which means they believe everything is instant. You know, nothing is instant under the sun but God, right? Would you able to twinkle your nose over there sitting at your place right now and make that? You're gonna have to do some work, right?
Yes.
But work is not what they're taught. They're not taught work. They're taught something else, talk about go get yours, you know, and it's all about me. So we didn't learn about me that much, did we? I'm not saying we learned a whole lot of other stuff about we, but we didn't learn about me. It was more about that which I am comes through something that gave that to me. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so we're more aligned with that concept than putting the whole thing all about us. That creates a certain pressure. I could see why they're maybe destructing, they're self-destructing. Because if I had to give it all to myself, I know, first of all, that'd be the biggest mistake I could make, number one. And number two, the pressure of that would make me self-destruct. Because I can't carry the weight of the me. Does that make sense? The great me has to be carried by myself and something greater than me. Yeah. They're not talking that language. No. They don't know. God is not even relevant. Real talk. How much anybody use God, say God, anything anymore? They say me. Self. Me. It's all about me. Self-eve. And when we learn that it's not all about me, and then that's when the joy and the success and happiness begins to come in, when it's just not about me. It's a life of service. I mean, even you with your design, you are serving, because you know, your whole thing was a spiritual thing with those clothes. And a lot of designers don't do that. That was a spiritual thing. You know, it was about being fabulous, but it was about this. It wasn't about you. It was about
client and, you know, serving them. You know, it was never about the mighty dollar. And that's where everybody get confused. You know, this whole mighty dollar thing, you know, even though it's good to be a millionaire and a billionaire. I'm not saying that, but you know, when that's not the reason that you're doing what you're doing.
No, we were taught to do what you love. You know, our lesson.
Yeah.
Taught you do what you love first, and the money comes. Right?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
you're able to process what you're learning. Because if you go after money initially, you're missing a lot of the essence of what you need to get to then get the money and keep it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're running just for the money and that's your focus, then you won't ever get the depths of what you're doing to make more money. So
yes. And then so many are running for instant fame. You know, Instagram, TikTok,
yes.
be TikTok famous. You know,
everybody wants to be famous now.
Famous. And fame is not all what it's cracked up to be.
Bleeding, baby. I deal with them every day. But all of what I deal with is what they've all become, and it's a hot mess. And what I mean by what I deal with, meaning the fame part or whatever that means, right? And whatever people that have become that thinks it means to them and everything else. And that's where all the weirdness comes in, because they of themselves still have to be normal, you know, to a certain extent, correct? I mean, all that fame and glory and this and the other only is lived within the parameters of what they're dealing in. But they have to go home and use the bathroom like we do, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're human like we are. Like, nothing about them other than they got a little bit more opportunity to be seen and do this work, right? When I'm saying that we're all the same people, you know, breathing the same air. So the whole fame thing has been taken out of context. And now you've got people that don't have but 100, they say you only need 100 hours now to be an expert in something. So you got people getting out in these streets claiming they're experts in something, from singing to doing to whatever they think they're doing. And they just arrive.
Right.
That's how it works now. And guess what? They arrive.
They arrive.
They know enough about how to put them words together to know about what that 100 hours got them. They can pull it off. Now, don't say they may not last. They may not last. They may not last.
Yeah.
But they pull it off.
15 minutes of fame.
15 minutes of fame.
Of fame. But, well, I guess we should get back on topic of a self journey into 30 days of self-love. And that's what we have been really talking about, or the lack of self-love. And we want people to move into that, and how important it is to do that. So I am going to encourage people to go to, are they able to download this on your website?
What happens is when you sign up for the subscription to join our Shake Club, it pops up when you go right on the website, Shaped by an Angel, and you'll be able to put in your information, and then that's when you'll get the copy of the ebook after you sign up.
Awesome, awesome, because it's important that we do that, ladies, so that we can help the young ones that's coming behind us. Yeah. Because the world, I don't want to say it's not going to get better, but it's not going to get better, but it can be better while it's not getting better, if that makes any sense at all. You know, so we have to deal with making sure that we can deal with the betterment part of it, so that our kids, our family can experience that part of it. Because hell is breaking loose, but we want to make sure that we're in that bubble, that we understand what's happening outside in the world. But remember, we're living in the kingdom of God and not the kingdom of this earth. So we're
learning to requalify energy as well. Okay. And
yes,
you know what that means. So meaning when you see something negative or bad, or somebody flicks you off as you're driving, the thing that tears them up, sweetie, is if I say, God bless you, have a good day, calm down. Or if I put the peace sign up, God bless you, you know, peace. Or whatever, right? if I gesture back something in love, or it just, like where you can't push my button and make me go up, right? To react.
Right.
First thing. But if I react, and my reaction is not back to them how they reacted to me, it messes them up. You talking about getting messed up where they really flick you off, is say, God bless you. Calm down. It's okay. It's okay. Because there is counteracting that energy. So we have to learn how to requalify the energy, meaning when someone's coming at us in negativity and anger and hate, reverse it and give them love, because you're capable of it. Now, if you're not capable of it, you can't do it, right?
Yeah.
But if you know yourself enough to know that this person cannot affect you, right? They can only affect themselves, because they on the trip, you not. I think that it really makes a difference. It's how we deal with things. And we are seeing so much in the world today that is so dark and so negative. But guess what? Until we change our attitude and our minds and our ways as well, we can't, like they say, if you can't beat them, join them. I'm not gonna join them people. Are you? I'm not going to join anything negative, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not fixing to live from that energy. So I'm not willing to participate with that. So what I do is I remain in myself, my own good nature of saying, baby, go on now. I hope you can get some centering today.
All this is happening in this whole paradigm shift. To reveal and uncover a lot of things that need to be uncovered and need to end. So you can't end anything until you uncover it and look at it. So it's not an overnight process that we're dealing with. Everything again is being revealed. The craziness of, I've never seen so many crazy people in my life to go off for no reason at all at the Taco Bell because they didn't have soda. Just a simple things, to protect other people, so everything is being revealed. It's unfolding. It's being dug up. So we all look at it and it has to be dissolved, because the last hurrah is about ready to begin. And when that last hurrah happens, see, that's when God in the church age, that's going to be that revival, where, people, because you look at the Christian church, and we so off the subject, but that's how we go. That's how we go. You look at the so-called evangelicals, they're acting like demons. It's just making Christianity look so horrible. And that's just them over there. All that is being revealed. All that is being uncovered, and they have to look at themselves, and people are looking at them for what it is. They've always used Christianity as a reason to do their sin, and it's like, God is tired of that. Y'all using that stuff. I'm tired. I want everybody to see for who you are. And it's really separating the men from the boys.
Well, one thing you and I know, as we have studied all these religions, and we have studied them all, right?
Yes.
And yes, we are Christians and stand in the Christian. But at the same time, we know that there's one God. What are we learning all that?
Okay.
One God.
Yeah. And so, if there can, go ahead.
Somebody created all this stuff.
All this madness.
It's all divided up. It's like colors, like giving us brown skin and then white skin and then yellow skin, and then we're fighting over something that all of us have, which is breath. Like, meaning we're fighting over our skin color, but if one thing that we all have in common, which is the breath, is taken away, we all dead.
Yeah.
So really, we fighting over something that we don't have to fight over, because that which really is making us who we are is a breath that we can't buy. We can't go to the grocery store, to the filling station, or nowhere else to buy it. And so that breath come from? It comes from what's called the source, which is God, right? Which we call
Mhm.
God, call them all, whatever the name is you want to call
Mhm.
of what we are existing by.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just the bottom line. You know, so I'm saying that we as man created all these things, religions and dogmas and things that we had to live by. I mean, the only probably real true thing that we should all connect with is the Bible and knowing there's a God. You know what I'm trying to say? Meaning directions and take them and keep walking. And stop.
Yeah, I kind of do like, you know, when they talk about some of the things that these so-called Christians are doing, these evangelicals, you know, how they hate certain groups of people. And, you know, I always do this whole thought process of literally what would Jesus do? Jesus, number one, never would hate.
Come on, ever.
You know, you never would hate, no matter what your sin was. Even in the Bible, when you talk about people who had sinned, he never hated or condemned them. He did not come in the world to condemn the world, but to uplift it, you know, to bring us out of the craziness. And that's what I tell people when they come to, well, Christians are this. I said, but you know, Jesus would never do that. He would never do any of that craziness. He was not racist. He just wouldn't do that. He wouldn't hate anybody for the color of their skin or what their preference was in life. He would not do that.
But the problem is people have gone so far into themselves, as we stated before, they can't even look at Jesus and be an example. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So far gone in themselves.
Yes.
Him and say, oh, well, he a man just like me, and why did he that? You know what I'm saying? It becomes
absolutely.
You know, we now are in an unequally yoked conversation about what that was and what this is, but at the same time, man has pumped himself up so high, and he's gotten so confident. You see, that I don't think that he is as transparent now on where he thinks whatever he got is coming.
Yeah, he's so man is so confused. He is so confused at this
and that's why we have to work on ourselves. That goes back around to our full circle, right? Of the conversation.
Yes.
We have to learn to love ourselves, you know, as God loves us, right? The first law of preservation is self-love, right?
Yes.
But if you are coming out the box, young ladies, and you love that man or that boyfriend more than you love yourself, or you love the child more than you love yourself, whatever it is that you love more, you love the church more than you love yourself. Right. You know, the preacher loves him more. You love the deacon, you know, what else? I'm just saying, more than you have loved and come into communion with you. You're out of order.
You're out of order, bottom line.
So now you got to get some order back, right, in yourself and reconnect with yourself, but also understanding that there's a higher self that you have to acknowledge to really get into that self-love, because that self-love comes from somewhere deeper than your dang on personality or who you was birthed to call yourself.
Really?
So that becomes the challenge, and then the debate and all these things with these modern new people, younger people, people that have certain belief systems. I say make it simple. It's not that difficult. And so when you start trying to make it difficult and deep, and you start going into Bible verses and quotes, and you losing yourself in it, and you're losing what you're trying to say in it, because you're not coming from the core essence of basically, it's not that deep.
Not that deep. We used to sing a song in the choir, you know, in the gospel choir. It's so simple. That was the title of the song. It's so simple, you know. Like,
but even at the same time, so difficult.
So difficult to get there.
Keep it simple, stupid. Remember that one?
Which one?
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We do try to make rocket science out of everything, you know, to this generation.
Yes.
Well, you know, 1 Corinthians, I just want to leave us with that, you know, unless you have anything else you want to share. There's so much we can do. We have to do this again real soon, Angela. I'm serious with these talks. You know, like we talk crazy over the phone. Some things we probably don't want to share with people, but you know, we talk crazy over the phone, but we always talking about how to assist people, how to serve people.
Yeah.
And I know that's my gift, and I know that's your gift.
Yeah.
You know, on how to serve, and especially for women, you know,
Yeah.
how to serve women. And that's what For Divas is. And I call it For Divas Only. A lot of people don't like that name because the diva has a negative connotation. But I use the term diva from a Hindu word diva that means elegance.
Beautiful.
And beauty, you know, and then I incorporate it with the urban meaning of a woman that knows who she is and she has found herself. And that's why I call it For Divas Only.
I love
it. First Corinthians said, do you not know that you are God's temple and that God's spirit dwells in you? If anyone destroys God's temple, God will destroy him, but God's temple is holy and you are that temple. That's why we are going to take care of our bodies, our minds, our spirit, because it's our temple. It's God's temple. Yes. That's who we are.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much. I think it was an amazing moment.
It was. We didn't get as goofy as we wanted to, but
that's okay. We're gonna loosen up a little bit more because we're gonna do it more.
Okay. All right.
I have to say this, the last thing. You know, we've been challenged with a lot of this because we were always the girls about the day doing our fashion thing, and you were commentating, and I was designing clothes, teaching the children how to model, and you were one of my mentors because you had gotten out and got the apartment. I wasn't really out the gate as much, but you was flossing and tossing with the apartment, you know. And we go over to Cheryl Rentie's house, maybe we'd have the meetings, darling, and she had all the fabulous decor and the whole 9 yards. But we just continued to just love on each other and have a good time and support one another. And I just think it's important that we continue to give that love, but not just in our private moments.
Yeah.
Then let's reach out. Let's do some lives. You know, it's nothing to just pop on and say we're coming on live and have a subject that many of us can engage in and just have a great moment.
You know? Have a great moment. Absolutely. You made me think about Horace. Oh, I miss her. You know, he was so like, you guys are just so grand. He just loved it.
Always fabulous.
You know,
we were trying to hang out. Rode through our fabulous of hiding. That was another thing. You know, that's why I encourage us to do this. Because
absolutely.
Really taught to be in your face, even though we were in your face. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So we were always doing our thing with clothes and fashion shows, but we were always highlighting everyone else and what everybody else did. But we weren't really taught to be about ourselves and to.
We were so humble. I don't know where that comes from. We were just humble, and even though we were grand, like you said, we let everybody else do their whole thing. And so you and I talk about how we held back because people were intimidated or get mad because we was doing something great. Well, now at this age, you know what? I can't say it on here, but hey, baby.
Hey.
On and cracking, yeah.
Because guess what? God preserved us to this time. And
yes.
And I think that it's very important for us to sew back into just what we've learned. We were raised by amazing mothers and fathers and had great family upbringing and support and community. And those things people don't have right now. And some of our children, you know, our kids and stuff don't have. So I think that it's important that we show up, because showing up in our maturity and our fabulousness, it allows people to maybe take a peek to listen and say, what these divas talking about? You know, who were they? But at least you get the attention to then bring something good and solid and share some of the wonderful things that have been put in us from us growing up, you know?
Absolutely. And you guys, I'm gonna be working on my face, so
Yes.
if I get it like that, we keep updates, you know.
Girl, I'm working on this face every day. Because, you know, I sit in the mirror a lot of times and I'll be like, okay, so now let me just but I found this face yoga. I'm gonna get you going.
Okay.
It's way more to this than meets the eye. It's like,
yeah.
It's a whole science to it. They're doing yoga where you exercise your face like your body.
That's what I heard.
I'll send you some information because I signed up for it.
Okay.
And it keeps your face tight. You do all these jaw exercises and you know, things with your mouth. But one thing I can say that I do know from the shapers, muscles have memory. That's why I tell you I can reshape your body.
Yeah.
What you have to do is put on the shaper, right? So that it forces the body to reshape, that body remembers that. So the more you wear the shaper, that's how I got my body right, was wearing shapers during the winter. And the more I would wear them, the longer I wear them during the day. So I wear the whole day. My body is remembering that shape. So eventually my curve on the side of my waist almost is like a semi-permanent shape. Now I can gain, right? You go up and down, but that curve is kind of semi-permanently in there from all those years of shaping.
My Lord.
So it works, but it's a consistent thing. Last point, we are so into everything being a quick fix.
Yes.
Right? Plastic surgery, go on a keto diet, do this, lose weight, run to jump this. No, I want to talk to women about being consistent with what works for you in your life and keeping yourself maintained, right?
Absolutely.
Where to you can get a few things that you do consistently that work and you'll maintain. I shut down sugar, lost some weight, got to where like I was like looking at myself like, I know that ain't me. And I'm good with that. And guess what I'm gonna do? Stay off that sugar.
Oh yeah.
I'll eat it here and there, but that's what's inflaming me. That's what's giving me the inflammation and the puffiness, you know?
Oh, absolutely. I remember Diane Carroll years ago. They were doing an interview. You know, she was still young at this point. When I say young, I think she was 50. You know, and they said, "How do you do it?" She said, "No sugar." That was her response. No sugar.
And you know, sugar is something that is like literally like, you know what, like an addiction.
It is.
You're doing it and you're not even tripping. You're not even thinking you're eating a lot of sugar. But if you can get a handle on it and replace some things, you can still have a little sweet thing here and there, but it's not with, you know, a whole lot of sugar. You can get a handle on your body. Trust and believe.
Absolutely.
It's working. Yeah. So we'll come up with more tricks of the trade as we go along.
All right, family. Remember, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. This is For Divas Only with my BFF, Angela Dean. Peace out.
Peace out. Love y'all.
Good morning. I have something to share real quick. My facial serum results are amazing, you guys. I have gotten rid of the lines at the top of my face. I've gotten rid of the lines around my eyes. My face is reshaping from taking down the inflammation. Oh my God. You have to go get Shaped by an Angel facial shaping serum. This is my real skin in real time. I swear. And so I'm getting results. Been getting them, but I haven't showed you guys in real time. I don't have no makeup on, nothing. And this is not a joke. Go buy the serum. That's it.